it's LegitLovely. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be showing you guys my current household for the new Isle of the Midnight Sun Sims 4 challenge. So because the Isle of the Midnight Sun challenge is fairly new, I wanted to go over the post that states the rules for everything in the brief overview. So the Isle of the Midnight Sun challenge is by Blank Sim on Tumblr. The post will be linked in the description below. So if you guys are interested in doing this challenge as well, you can. So the description says, quote, "You wake up in the middle of a secluded island with no recollection of your life or how you ended up there. With no memory of home or a way to return there, you have no choice but to make a new life for yourself on the Isle of the Midnight Sun. So your goal is to survive on an empty island until the objective for the 5th generation is complete. Required packs are seasons, a get-together, outdoor retreat, and jungle adventure, which is not 100% required, as well as seasons." So setup. It says create a young adult sim. Appearance, traits, and aspirations are all up to you, and you may optionally create a pet if you'd like. Move into the 20 by 20 lot on the island in Windenburg. I will show you guys that in a second. Evict all of your neighbors and bulldoze all the lots on the island so you're the only inhabitant. At this point, you may decorate your home lot with extra greenery as well as some basics. Cheat your funds down to 3,000 by opening the console and entering money 3,000. Make sure aging is turned on, is set to normal, and that seasons are set to 1 week in length. Then you should be ready to go. So it says, general overview. In addition to adding objectives to each generation, this version of the Midnight Sun Challenge also adds a few new game mechanics. So it briefly mentions something about festivals. There are festivals held during the last 2 days of every season and serve as a chance for your household to meet Sims that aren't family. So you can do those. You can also travel to Granite Falls and Salvadorada, but that choice is entirely up to you. And you can visit a different destination for every festival if you'd like. So they said with seasons, they highly recommend that you add the festivals to your calendar, but if you don't have it, you could just keep track of your days and make sure that you leave Saturday morning and return Monday morning. However, festivals are not mandatory and can be skipped. Also mentioned something about lot expansions. Some generations require that you move to a new lot or utilize an old one. You can move lots using the normal system, but for Generation 3, you can use the retail system to purchase the lot even though you're just using it as a garden. If you don't own a pack that includes a retail lot system, you can just make the lot generic and decorate it over time, deducting funds from your household whenever you find money on the generic lot. And then this is heirs. Most generations require a specific heir from the previous generation, but if it doesn't, feel free to pick whichever heir you'd like. Some general rules are that cheats and mods make the challenge easier, are strictly against the rules, but cosmetic cheats are fair game. No age items can be used at any point during the challenge. Additionally, your Sims may not leave the island or interact with any Sims outside of their family unless they're at a festival. This means none of your Sims can have traditional jobs or go to school, and they're not allowed to go to the hospital to give birth. All traits must be randomized for children unless otherwise stated by that generation. Then I'm just going to read over Generation 1, and like I said, I'm going to link the post so you guys can read over the other generations. So, Generation 1, the Drifter. The first to wash up on the deserted shore, you find yourself in complete and utter isolation, remembering very little about where you came from or how you got here. With no way to return to wherever you come from, you must learn to survive or suffer an untimely end. So the main objectives for Generation 1 are to 1. Have another Sim wash up on the island. This can either be a townie or a Sim that you create and pursue a romantic relationship with them. Your partner must have the clumsy or gloomy trait, have no more than 2 children, master the fishing and cooking skills, create the angling ace aspiration, and build a small dwelling with just enough space for your family. So there are 5 generations in total, but I just want to read over Generation 1 because that is what I'm going to be showing you guys today. So I want to jump in game and show you guys my current household. So let's get started. Okay, so before we get started with showing you guys the household, I want to quickly mention that I am showing you guys the Sims, but if you guys are interested in actually pursuing the storyline that I'm doing for this story, or for this challenge, and reading my story post, you can find that on Cozy Pixels, COZYPYXELS, on both Tumblr and Instagram. I have edited photos, I have captions, I have stories, I have everything written, and I'm really doing this as more of a story than the challenge. So that is just something that I really want to mention for you guys, because their story, these 2 Sims, and the generations for the Isle of the Midnight Sun Challenge will be unraveling mainly on Tumblr and Instagram. So first we have our Sim Payson. Now she is our main heir. She is our female Sim that I created. So Payson has the Angling Ace aspiration. She is charming, which is a custom trait. She is creative, and then she has the Angler trait as well. So I created Payson from scratch, and I just really like how she came out. So this is Payson. Her last name is Clancy. Then we have Kieran Clancy. Now, because I'm not actually like playing this challenge out, and I'm mostly doing the storyline for it on Simblr and Simstagram, I did give Kieran the same last name because they will eventually get married. Shocker, spoiler alert. But I just gave them the last name so that when I exported them and saved their files, I would have them. One thing I want to quickly mention is that these Sims will never be up for download. This is a personal save file and everything, so I don't want to release these Sims, especially since I'm using them for the challenge. But this is Kieran Clancy. This is the male Sim and Payson's romantic interest that washed up on the island with her. So he has a big happy family aspiration. He is active, romantic, and then I gave him the clumsy trait as the rules stated. Your second Sim had to have either the gloomy or the clumsy trait, and I feel like the clumsy trait would be a little easier to work with. And then we have Coda, who should have the last name Clancy. That's my bad. I didn't really mess with Coda yet as far as traits, but Coda does have the active trait. Coda is a mixed breed. I wish I knew exactly what the mix was. It says Stafford Bull Terrier or Staffordshire Bull Terrier, but then I did add a couple different, like the ears are different, the tail's different, the snout, like I changed everything. Really, it's just the body structure that I kind of kept the same. But this is Coda. Now, based on the storyline, Payson washed up first. She found a house on the island where Kieran was in, but Kieran didn't actually live in the house. He had just washed up and entered the house because the house was there. And Coda hasn't really come into the storyline yet, but he's here because I have taken some pictures of him. But I will actually include the story posts that I have so far at the end of this video, the pictures, so that you guys can read through them. I'll speed it up so each picture is only 5 seconds. But if you guys want to pursue, obviously, the storyline, like I said, my Simblr and my Simstagram. So, let's jump into the household. Now, originally, you were only supposed to kind of decorate the lot with greenery and whatnot, but I really wanted to make a small little house. And since I'm not really following all the challenge rules, I'm kind of doing this in a story-based fashion, I did build a little house, and I did decorate it with shrubbery, but it's very, very small, but I did want to have something so I can take pictures. So, over here we have the bathroom. Like I said, it's very simple. I also didn't cheat my funds down yet. Let me do that. Okay, so this is the bedroom. They each have 2 separate beds because they're not technically in a romantic relationship yet. We have the kitchen over here, and then we have the living room. There's nothing else really. Like I said, I wanted to make a house, but I wanted to make it very simple so that we can definitely expand and grow from there. So this is the island. I did evict the other lots, but I didn't bulldoze them just because it would have taken too long, and you can't really see these lots unless you really zoom in. So I didn't really feel the need to bulldoze them, but this is the location, and it's perfect that they chose this lot for the challenge because it's a deserted island for the most part. And then right over here, you have the little fishing area. So I just wanted to quickly do a current household on this challenge because it is my main challenge, like I said, on Simstagram and Simblr. I consider doing a Let's Play on YouTube for this challenge, but I don't really like playing challenges out or really gameplay in The Sims 4 in general. I like taking pictures and making storylines with them, so I feel like this would be the better route to take, I guess you could say. So let's zoom in on Payson for a second. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on all my social media. That is, as always, conveniently linked in the description below. If you guys want to do this challenge yourself, like I said, I will link the original post in the description. I highly recommend it. And the thing is, I didn't look for this challenge. It kind of just came up on my Tumblr dashboard, and I was like, oh, wow, this challenge seems like really interesting. And I've been wanting to do a story in The Sims 4 that I could stick with. So this challenge kind of really helped with that. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, stay lovely, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, everyone.